Hey guys, this is Ali Plays and welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today we're going to be going over all the buffs and debuffs and what they mean. And the reason why we're doing that is because it is currently not listed in the game. Like, it won't give you any information, but the developers are going to do their best to get that into the game as soon as possible. So first we're going to go over all the buffs, and then we're going to go over all the debuffs and what they do. And if I say, let's say if I say something does 25/50%, it depends on the buff. Some champions have buffs that only do 25%. Let's say a protection. Some of them only have 25%, and then some of them can do a 50% protection. That's just an example. So if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, that's what I'm talking about. So for the first buff, we have Ally Protection. So Ally Protection, the caster champion takes 25 or 50% of direct damage inflicted upon the target champion, which is really annoying. Self-inflicted damage and poison do not trigger this effect. Each champion uses their respective defense value for mitigating damage. Next up is block damage. So block damage makes the champion immune to all forms of damage. Block debuffs. While this buff is active, the champion is immune to all debuffs. Instant negative effects such as decreased turn meter are not affected and work as normal. Continuous heal. Heals the target champion by 7.5 or 15% of their max HP at the beginning of their turn. Counter attack. When attacked, the champion with this buff strikes back at their attacker using their default skill. This attack deals 75% of the normal default skill damage. So if you're using a base attack, you're not going to be dealing 100%, you're going to only be dealing 75% of your max damage. You can only counterattack once when attacked with a multi-hit skill. With a multi-hit skill. Does not counterattack in response to the enemy's own counterattack, and does not count as a turn. Next up is Increase Attack. It increases the champion's battle attack, so the current attack value and all other effects taken into account, by 25 or 50%. Increase Crit Rate. Increase the champion's crit rate by 15 or 30%, depending on how powerful the buff is. Increase defense. Increases the champion's battle defense by 30 or 60%. Increase speed. Increase the champion's battle speed by 15 or 30%. Reflect damage. Any champion attacking a target with this buff will sustain 15 or 30% of the damage they inflict with the attack. Revive on death. As the name suggests, if a champion with this buff dies, he or she will immediately be revived with 30% HP and 0% turn meter. Next up is Shield. So the champion's HP bar is reinforced for X amount of turns with a shield effect. So an example is Valerie, she provides a shield. Damage is calculated normally but is at first applied to the shield, unless the attack ignores shield. And the last buff is Unkillable. The champion with this buff cannot fall below 1 HP for the entirety of its duration. Now let's move on to debuffs. So for debuffs we have block buffs. So all buffs that are applied to the champion with this debuff are automatically blocked and have no effect. Block cooldown skills. So this one prevents the champion with debuff from using active skills other than their default skill for the duration of the debuff. Skill cooldown of the affected champion refreshes as normal. Block heal. Any healing received by this champion with this debuff is reduced by 15 or 100%. And you want to use that against Rhine Beast, because that guy's really annoying. Bomb. When this debuff expires, the affected champion suffers direct damage that ignores the defensive value. The damage inflicted by the bomb scales in accordance with the stat indicated in the skill description. Decrease accuracy reduces the champion's battle accuracy by 25 or 50%. Decrease attack, decrease the champion's battle attack by 25 or 50%. Decrease defense, decreases the champion's battle defense by 30 or 60%. Decrease speed, decreases the champion's battle speed by 15 or 30%. Freeze. The champion with this debuff is unable to attack for an X amount of turns. Cooldowns are not refreshed while freeze is active. The champion only receives 75% of incoming damage. HP burn. While the debuff is active and at the start of the affected champion's turn, they and all their allies take damage equal to 3% of their respective max HP. There can only be one HP burn debuff active on a champion at a time. However, if multiple champions on the team are debuffed with HP burn, all of these debuffs work as normal and apply their full damage. Leech. Any champion that attacks a champion with this debuff heals for 10% of the inflicted damage. Poison. Damages the target champion by 2.5 or 5% of their max HP at the beginning of their turn. Provoke. The champion with this debuff can only attack a champion that applies it for X amount of turns using the default skill. Sleep. The champion with this debuff is unable to attack for an X amount of turn and you take full amount of damage. And the cooldown is not refreshed while sleep is active. Continuous heal and poison effect work as normal while the champion is debuffed with sleep. So do any passive skills that the champion has. Stun. The champion with this debuff is unable to act for an X amount of turns and the cooldowns are not refreshed while stun is active. Weaken. Increases damage received by the target champion by 15 or 25%. So we went over all the buffs and all the debuffs in the game. Now let's go over the special effects in Minotaur's Labyrinth. So there's Rage, which is a buff on the Minotaur. It says while active, this buff increases damage the Minotaur deals by 400%. Next one is Dazed, also from the Minotaur. While active, this debuff increases the damage to the Minotaur by 200%. And the last one is Hex. The Minotaur's Tremor Stomp skill deals double damage to champions with this debuff. If this video helped you in any way, please leave a like and subscribe and share it with your clanmates so that they can know what each buff and debuff does. And I got my information directly from the community manager on the Plarium forums, which I will link in the description. And for more Raid Shadow Legends video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.